Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into some fascinating material. It's all about uh, what might be the most, well, audacious piece of tech we've seen yet, the Bothead 3K.
Absolutely. And our mission here is really to unpack everything you've gathered, the shiny ads, these incredible user stories, but also the serious news reports and the backlash.
Yeah, it's quite a mix.
The Bothead 3K,
Hmm.
it's less a gadget and more like a full-blown experiment on, well, what it means to be human.
That really hits the nail on the head. So for anyone listening who hasn't encountered this yet, the Bothead 3K is this sophisticated mask, covers the whole head.
Right.
And it's not just about hiding, it's presented as a total overhaul. The makers actually say it solves, and I'm quoting here, the age-old problem of being seen for who you really are.
By hiding your, quote, disappointing real face.
Exactly. Brutal honesty there.
And that frankness, that's kind of key to why it's become so huge globally. Their whole philosophy is, well, it's provocative. It's right at that modern feeling of, never being good enough.
They basically ask, why kill yourself with self-improvement when you can just project someone better?
It completely sidesteps effort. It's the ultimate shortcut, isn't it?
Yeah.
Selling instant perfection, instant competence.
Want to sound smart, charming, deep? Just put on the mask.
You don't need to, actually do the reading or the work.
And that ability to just jump the queue, well, it clearly resonates. Everyone feels that pressure to be on, to be amazing, all the time.
So let's get into the tech itself. How does it actually pull this off? The design sounds incredibly advanced.
It does. The ads call it flawlessly attractive, AI optimized. It's meant to be this kind of idealized face that just clips with everyone.
But it has to look real, move real, right?
Precisely. It can't just be a pretty picture. The source materials hint at some really sophisticated stuff inside. Dynamic light refraction polymers, fancy words for making the face look right under any light.
Okay.
And haptic muscle mimicry. Think tiny motors under the surface, tracking your own facial movements, even tiny twitches, and recreating them instantly on the mask's face. So it looks completely seamless, like a real living face, but perfect.
Exactly. But the visual part is only half the story. The software inside is where the real magic or maybe manipulation happens.
Right. It replaces your voice, too.
Yeah.
With a perfect voice, tuned for charisma.
In all modes, yeah.
Okay.
And then there's the big one, the AI mode.
Ah, yes, the AI mode. Explain that.
This is the core of the conversational prowess. If you feel stuck or just tired, you switch it on. The mask's AI just takes over the conversation.
Takes over how?
It listens to what's being said and generates, in real time, insightful, nuanced, and perfect responses.
Making you sound like this incredibly deep and engaging person.
That's the promise.
But hold on, if the AI is that good, wouldn't people notice? Wouldn't it sound, I don't know, too perfect? Does the material mention any suspicion?
That's what's so interesting. The sources suggest we've kind of become conditioned to accept these sudden jumps in ability.
Oh.
Maybe through social media, influencers, who knows? The mask isn't trying to be a slightly better you. It's presenting a super intelligent, articulate person who just happens to have this perfect face. The real trick isn't the tech itself, maybe, but our willingness to buy into the idea of effortless genius.
So it preys on our own desires and expectations.
Seems like it. It's the ultimate tool, as you said, for climbing the ladder without lifting a foot.
Yes.
Selling social status without the actual intellectual investment.
Which brings us neatly to the results people are apparently getting. The testimonials.
Oh, there's something else. Really show how readily people will just outsource themselves.
They paint quite the picture. Let's talk specifics. Jolly twackle.
Right, jolly. Described as being like a ghost in the conversation. Totally overlooked.
And after the Bothead 3K.
Becomes the life of every party. And get this, jolly notes they barely have to say a word.
That's incredible. A total flip in status just by wearing the mask and letting the AI do the talking, or maybe just projecting presence.
Seems so. And then there's Rusty Clinkers. Used to call himself the human yawn. Post-mask. People started calling Rusty the Oracle. That's quite a leap from yawn to Oracle.
A massive leap in perceived depth. And Cherry Candlemucker.
Cherry was quite blunt about it. Called the mask the perfect solution because they felt they were, and this is a direct quote, a bit of a disappointment.
Wow. So the mask doesn't fix the feeling, it just papers over the cracks perfectly.
Exactly. Which is perfectly shown in the relationship and work stories. Leslie Kinkers, for instance.
What's Leslie's story?
Leslie is dating an astrophysicist. The astrophysicist thinks Leslie is a gifted poet.
Okay. And the reality?
The reality is Leslie puts the mask in AI mode during dates and secretly plays games on their phone.
No.
That's what the source says. The AI is spitting out beautiful lines about stars and existence while Leslie's matching gems or something. Total relationship dominance via AI charm.
That says so much about the emptiness it creates inside. Meanwhile, at work, Claff Gumford.
Right. Claff was seen as uninspired, maybe a bit beige.
Beige personality, okay.
Started getting promotions left and right. Why? The AI was feeding thoughtful and innovative ideas during meetings. Claff just had to sit there and nod.
Just nod along while the AI gets you promoted.
And some people use it just to check out entirely. Mookie Monkers. Stands in the corner at parties, AI mode on.
Doing what?
Claims to be a great listener by not having to listen at all. Just drops profound AI answers when asked something, apparently without even hearing the question properly.
It's like a shield. Timmy McGeekles basically said that, right? Used it to avoid dealing with expectations. Became an AI that impersonates a people person.
Yeah, protection from the effort of interaction. It lets you off the hook from being a, functional adult in social settings.
These stories are almost funny, but...
But there's something deeply unsettling underneath, isn't there? It's this voluntary giving up of the self. They're achieving success, yes, but they're doing it by completely farming out the skills, the effort, the actual person needed to earn it.
You get admired, but secretly you kind of despise the work real admiration takes.
Precisely. It allows for that detachment.
Which is maybe why we can chuckle at Nookie Gibbles wishing this pinnacle of perfection tech had a snack dispenser.
Right. Even with a perfect projection, the human inside still gets hungry.
But okay, moving beyond the individuals. This level of disruption was bound to cause waves. The controversy.
Oh, it's fierce. Samantha Quill's report in the newer New York Post lays it out. Demand is through the roof, but the ethical alarms are blaring.
What are the main concerns? Authenticity? Mental health?
All of the above.
Yeah.
And this idea of social trust being eroded. Can you trust that the person you're talking to is, well, them?
And that led some countries to take pretty drastic steps, like Sweden and New Zealand.
Yeah, they outright banned the sale and use of the bothead 3K. Full stop.
Why? What was their justification?
They argued it was fundamentally damaging society, promoting deception, harming genuine connection. They basically treated authenticity like critical infrastructure.
Like clean water or reliable power, but for human interaction.
Exactly. Compromise that, and society starts to break down.
Right.
They decided protecting real, messy human connection was more important than letting people use this tech for easy advancement.
A value judgment, essentially.
A big one. They seem worried that if every interaction becomes a performance, optimized and tracked, people will just stop developing their actual unoptimized selves, the bits that build real community.
But then the story takes another turn, maybe even darker. The corporate mandate?
Yeah, that's deeply unsettling. Reports confirmed. Major companies, especially in tech and finance, are making these masks mandatory for employees.
Mandatory. Not just available, but required.
Required. They've rolled out the Bothead 3K Enterprise Edition.
Which sounds ominous. How is it different?
It turns it from a tool for personal gain into a tool for compulsory corporate perfection. The purpose shifts entirely.
And it has extra features, right?
Yeah.
The sources mention sensors, tracking.
Sinister features, yeah. Embedded sensors, AI analytics. They log every single interaction.
How does that even work? How do they track interactions?
It seems the Enterprise Edition taps into that haptic mimicry system, but links it with some kind of neural interface sync. It tracks your stress levels, how often you rely on the AI, your focus, maybe even subconscious movement.
All that data.
Feeds into a corporate algorithm. It's checking if you're always on, maintaining optimal professional output. They're essentially tracking the performance of the AI representing you.
And your compliance with letting the AI perform optimally.
Right. The company owns and monitors the perfect projection that wears your name tag.
The psychological pressure must be immense. You're forced to wear a mask of perfection, knowing your own inadequacy is being monitored underneath.
The expectation is no longer try your best. It's your best is the AI's best, and we're watching to make sure you don't screw it up. You become just the operator, the maintenance unit for your own replacement.
So where does the company stand on all this? The CEO, Clegg Underwood, he's not exactly backing down, is he?
Not at all. Completely unapologetic. His defense is pure cold market logic. Output over everything.
What did he say?
He stated their mission is, quote, to empower individuals to reach their full potential, even when their natural abilities fall short.
Implying potential is only measurable by output, regardless of source.
Pretty much. And then came that viral quote that summed it all up. When being your best is not good enough, Bothead 3K is the solution.
Chilling. It basically says human effort is obsolete if a machine can do better.
It reframes falling short not as something to work on, but just a bug that needs a tech patch.
So wrapping this up, what we've seen today across all these sources is this huge tension. Effort versus ease, authenticity versus projection, privacy versus mandatory performance.
Yeah.
The Bothead 3K offers this shortcut to competence, socially, professionally. But the cost seems to be your entire identity handed over to an efficient, trackable machine. Everyone sees the perfect image.
While the real you is just, playing phone games underneath.
It really throws a modern dilemma into sharp focus.
It really does. And it leaves us with a question for you, the listener, to mull over, based on everything we've discussed. If this mask guarantees you success, career, social life, everything far beyond what you could achieve naturally, and everyone believes that projection is you, is that success actually yours?
Or does it just belong to the AI?
And does the fact that perfection, in the corporate sense anyway, requires constant surveillance, does that poison the achievement itself? Does perfect performance still have value if it isn't authentic, if it isn't freely chosen?
Something to definitely think about.